When we talk about fermented foods activating autophagy, we're discussing something far more sophisticated than simple probiotics. Traditional fermented foods like kimchi, sauerkraut, natto, kefir, and miso deliver a triple mechanism for cellular cleanup that modern nutrition science is only beginning to appreciate fully. The vitamin K2, B-complex vitamins, and probiotic-produced metabolites create what researchers now call the gut-liver-brain autophagy axis. Let's start with natto, because its vitamin K2 content is genuinely exceptional. One serving provides roughly 1,000 micrograms of K2, specifically the -7 Malawian Kwacha's form that has a longer half-life in your body. This isn't trivial. Vitamin K2 activates autophagy specifically in vascular smooth muscle cells, where it prevents and potentially reverses arterial calcification by removing calcium deposits and damaged cellular components. The mechanism involves matrix GLA protein activation, which, when properly functioning through K2 dependent autophagy, protects against age-related arterial stiffness. But here's where fermented foods get really interesting. The beneficial bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids, particularly butyrate, propionate, and acetate. These bacterial metabolites don't just stay in your gut. They enter circulation and signal autophagy activation throughout your body, including in your brain. This gut-brain connection for autophagy explains some of the cognitive benefits people report from regular fermented food consumption. The B-complex vitamins in fermented foods increase during fermentation. We're not just preserving nutrients, we're actually creating more of certain vitamins through bacterial activity. B vitamins support the energy metabolism required to power autophagy machinery. Without adequate B vitamins, your cells lack the ATP necessary to run the energy-intensive process of cellular cleanup. Now for practical implementation. You need consistency, not massive quantities. 2 to 3 tablespoons daily of various ferments provides meaningful benefits. A 7-day rotation might include kimchi one day, sauerkraut the next, then kefir, miso soup, natto for those who can tolerate it, and rotating back through. This diversity ensures exposure to different bacterial strains and metabolite profiles. The concerns about histamine sensitivity are legitimate. Fermented foods are high histamine, and for people with histamine intolerance or mast cell activation issues, these foods can cause problems despite their benefits. Start with small amounts and monitor response. The sodium content in kimchi and sauerkraut also requires awareness for people managing blood pressure. Pairing fermented foods with prebiotic fibers maximizes bacterial metabolite production. The bacteria need fuel to produce those beneficial short-chain fatty acids. Combining your fermented vegetables with other fiber-rich foods creates synergistic effects for gut health and autophagy activation. The gut barrier strengthening effects matter here too. Autophagy in intestinal cells helps maintain tight junctions, preventing intestinal permeability that contributes to systemic inflammation. Fermented foods support this process through multiple mechanisms beyond just adding beneficial bacteria. Home fermentation offers cost savings and control over ingredients, particularly sodium content. A simple sauerkraut requires just cabbage and salt with a few days of fermentation. Kefir requires grains and milk but produces indefinitely. For those interested in traditional food preparation, fermentation connects you to ancestral dietary wisdom while providing measurable health benefits. The verdict here is that fermented foods deserve their reputation for supporting cellular health through the gut autophagy axis. The mechanisms are biochemically sound. The benefits extend beyond gut health to systemic autophagy activation, and the practical implementation is straightforward for most people.